agenda is 3758 by Senator Ladder. Natalie?
This legislation creates a new task force on disasters.
Yeah, this legislation passed last year. Any questions or comments, Senator Ladder?
Mr. Chairman, just briefly, what the bill does, as I'm sure everybody's read, is generate an inclusive committee to discuss these issues. Senate leadership and Assembly leadership are full members to this, and individuals from the industry to discuss these issues. The governor, in this bill a year ago, indicated there would be an executive branch initiative to do this. We haven't seen that initiative, so I appreciate the fact that this is resurfaced. Whether we get to the point of its passage or not, I think it's important to make the statement that the Senate and the Assembly wants to be players on these discussions, and I appreciate leadership considering advancing the bill.
Thank you, Senator. Any other questions or comments? Is there a motion to report?
I'll second.
Second. Motion and second. Are there any negative votes? That bill is referred to rules. The second bill on the agenda is 4108C. This is the so-called ride-sharing legislation. Natalie?
This legislation amends the insurance law to define transportation network companies and establish relative insurance provisions and requirements.
Yeah, this bill has gone through, was being a C-print, has gone through a number of variations. Basically, the way we have come down with this version is dealing with, when it comes to ride sharing, these are people who that sign up with these transportation network companies, and when they have extra time and their vehicles available, that they through an app process they take riders around for hire. The issue for this committee is on the insurance side, to make sure there's proper insurance in place when someone's using a personal vehicle for this business enterprise, and not to have an impact on their personal auto insurance, which would have an impact on all of them. This legislation just deals with the insurance coverage. We do not trample on home rule, local laws and regulations. Local taxi commissions are not preempted by this legislation. Those arrangements would continue. In fact, in terms of New York State, the only place this is in existence today is in New York City, and with these drivers dealing with the New York City Taxi and Limousine Commission, that seems to be working, and we want to bring this model statewide. Any other questions or comments on this legislation? Senator Martin?
This is the Uber type ride sharing, Lyft type ride sharing that this would, in essence, facilitate those models going forward. And I have heard from many of my constituents, certainly those that are in the more traditional ride sharing mode, cab owners, that anything that advances that model without having a comprehensive review of the impact with regard to local control is problematic. I do have some concerns about it, and I understand that it just deals with the issue of insurance. But at the same time, once we deal with the issue of insurance, then there are very little that the local communities can do with respect to what is a function of home rule and local control, which is their ability to license cabs. And those people who are willing or able to pick people up and drop them off within a certain geographic area. So I do have some concerns, Mr. Chairman. Not quite sure where I am on it. I'm working through it right now, but just would love to hear your comments on what this does with respect to that.
As I stated earlier, what the direction we're going here with this is strictly to deal with the insurance coverage for such an enterprise. All other local laws, regulations dealing with taxis, or if these Uber, the Lyfts of the world, would have to approach the local government, the local taxi commission, whatever they have in place to deal with these types of issues before operating there, and then then some of the concerns that you have raised would be dealt with at that time.
So it's position in this legislation that whatever restrictions locally are still in place.
Yes. This strictly deals with the insurance coverage. That would not be a matter of local jurisdiction with the insurance coverage. All other local laws and regulations, whatever's in place would, well, they'd have to deal with whatever the local rules and regulations or laws in each municipality.
Questions?
Yes.
I share, sadly, I share the concerns that the senator has raised. I've been told of creeping Uberism that folk are worried about. I'm torn too. On the last meeting, I don't want to go against a person who I respect highly. Just trying to figure my way around this one, and at the same time dealing with the concern that we're facilitating Uber and the Ubers of the world without coming up with some clear ideas of what to do. Where do they fit in? Where don't they fit in?
I think, Senator Sanders, it will facilitate an understanding that if Uber does in fact operate in a particular jurisdiction, there are certain specific and well-defined insurance regulations that they must comply with. And the legislation itself speaks to that, on when it becomes operative and when it doesn't become operative. And I think to have that in place, regardless of what particular localities do, is important for the state of New York. And the particular localities, I'm sure that they're going to be concerned, as they should be, from New York City to Buffalo, that they'll be concerned with how is the situation currently existing without it, and what will it do with it, and make their decisions accordingly. And I know the Taxi Commission has been up to see at least both Senator Seward and myself from New York City, and expressed a lot of reservations they have.
Mr. Chairman, just one last one. I also
Yes.
said in East Hampton that the municipality did pass a local law that outlawed the use of Uber and ride sharing, exercising their local control. So I guess there is a precedent for a local community exercising that local control, but I do still have concerns. I'm going to go with that way.
Fair enough. Nothing in this legislation would overrule whatever that local community is now.
It's not preemptive.
Any other? These are legitimate questions because we've gone through several versions of this legislation. Any other questions or comments? Is there a motion to report the bill to rules? Second. Are there any negative votes? I know Senator Martin's without recommendation.
Senator Vella.
Senator Vella negative. Any other?
Based on what you're saying
Without recommendation. Very good. Well, that bill is reported. To rules, yes. And the final bill is 4444B.